Hello, guys. Welcome. We're back with the last series of the day. It's going to be BeastCoast versus Infinity. And now we do have a full panel of RDO and Duster. My first question is for you, RDO. It's a tough one. It's a very serious one, by the way. How do you feel that you're so cursed that your camera refuses to cooperate with you? Another another prediction? No, okay. RDO, I appreciate the humility, but let's be honest. We know you guys didn't do anything wrong. You guys were straight up cursing a team. I understand it was part of the script. We can reveal it now. It's fine. You guys think this panel would ever pick the wrong team 3 times?
Of
Come on.
course not.
Yeah, thank you. What are your expectations for this game? I'm gonna start with you, Duster. BeastCoast, even though they're the strongest team theoretically in the league, they can lose against anyone, as we saw against Balrogs. Do you think Infinity could take a game or even the series off them?
They can, for sure. Who are they gonna play with today? Even because I remember they used Michael for a standing last time.
But for Infinity?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's Michael today too. Actually, I'm not in the lobby, so I wouldn't know. But I'm pretty sure it's Michael as well.
Michael again. Well, it's gonna be cool to see the change of carry player they had from Parker to Rises. I'm more of a Parker fan personally, so I think in this DPC they're a bit weaker, but still they're a Division 1 team. They can take games out of anyone.
Okay, I want to touch on that because RDO was more of a Rises fan, so I want to see what do you prefer, Parker?
I think Parker is just a too crazy guy, and it kind of works in his favor because you can't expect anything from Parker. He just do very unexpected things, just plays very very crazy mode. So you can't prepare for Parker. That's why I think it's hard to play against him.
RDO, I want to hear about Rises now. Why do you think he was good opposed to Parker?
He's more of a solid player. I see Parker like a kind of unstable because of his mentality. Rises seems more of a stable player.
That nod by Duster is someone who's played pubs with Parker and knows exactly what RDO is talking about. Okay, so tell me some of the strengths that Infinity has, RDO, now with Rises. What did you see against Infamous that you liked about them?
I think that they're playing team fights really well. Like they're discipline again. The discipline in team fights, it's what make them almost win against Infamous for me.
Okay. What do you think of Papita usually saving the last pick for himself there? Because he's the drafter and also the off laner there. Do you think that's a good strategy right now to save the off lane pick for last?
For me, the last pick should be for the most the biggest hero pool player. If Papita feels like he has a big hero pool and he's comfortable playing some weird last pick heroes, it's fine for me.
Okay. Well, is that because the last pick usually comes after a lot of bans, or is that because the last pick has to be the most perfect pick?
The last pick has to complete what your draft doesn't have, kind of.
Okay.
So sometimes you're gonna end up with some weird hero, but it's gonna fit well for your team, and for you to your team kind of depends on you doing good stuff with this weird hero. That's why the last pick should always be to the most experienced player.
Do you agree? Do you agree with that,
Okay.
Duster?
The hero with the most impact. So it's naturally a more experienced player will do better in this position. And I guess he probably considers himself as a big impact on the team, so he kind of wants to give preference to his pick. It makes sense. He's also the captain, the shot caller. He needs a good game.
I do want to touch on that because when you talk about the last pick having to like cover all these things, right? Let's say your last pick is an offlaner, right? And you pick a non-traditional offlaner, but it covers all the bases. Do you agree with that mentality, or do you rather go for a stronger pick in that position or more meta pick? For you, Duster. Sorry.
Goes from team to team, of course, but
no, you personally. I mean, as a player, yeah.
Oh, me personally, I trust more the comfort pick. I think if you have last pick and you think you can carry with this certain hero, no matter how weird it is you should try.
Okay. RDO, do you agree with that?
Can you make the question again, please?
So when you have the last pick, right? Let's say you have a draft that's missing like one specific thing, and you have this hero that's perfect for that, but the last position you're missing is not the most ideal for the hero. Like, let's say the draft is perfect for a Venomancer, but you have a mid open, and you have to play mid Venomancer, which is not so common, right? Do you prefer playing these outside the box picks that fit the draft perfectly, or do you rather go for something more meta, more traditional that works in the lane?
Non-meta pick is like comfortable for the player. It's fine because in the end, what's gonna usually make you win is having comfort picks. Otherwise, you're just gonna feed.
Fair. Yeah. Okay. That's the same idea as Duster was mentioning. So there's a lot of value. You guys put a lot of value into the comfort of the players themselves. Is there a moment where that changes a bit? Like if you go to like maybe the higher echelons of Dota, do you think you still play that way with the upper tier players? Duster?
I guess as a pro player, you need to be able to play many heroes and many different styles. So I guess you need to be prepared to play anything in the end. But of course,
I just want to touch on one of the players because I was making the point that, for example, Hector from BeastCoast, right? He's been criticized often for playing like one style and always trying to play that style, right? And certain heroes, for example, he's never played, doesn't play, like Razor and TA, famous carries. He refuses to play them because his team feels like there needs to be a strong carry per se. Do you agree with that mentality? Is that the right thing? Like you stick to your comfort and your confidence, or is there a limit to that kind of mentality?
if it works for him, like I guess you can't really judge if it's right or wrong. I personally believe more in the meta. Like you should try to make your comfort be the meta. It makes drafting a lot easier. You know, if a certain hero is really strong right now, you should make that hero your comfort. You know. But of course, you always have your signature hero that you can always try if they are off meta. But all the time, like K1 does, it's a lot of balls.
RTO, do you agree with that? Do you think it's better to adapt to the meta than force the meta?
Yeah, I think it's better to adapt to the meta. It's like, for me, it's one of the biggest reasons why BeastCoast has not become a tier one team worldwide. Because
there we go.
They're mostly K1. He doesn't play like the meta course. He plays more like he's type of course. You know?
Right.
It feels good to be this good.
Yeah, that's something that, again, it's not just you. Like, it's been a common narrative for BeastCoast, which is why I ask. I think it's quite an interesting thing to discuss. Do you also find that sometimes that limits the captain as well? Like, maybe it's not necessarily meta, but they think a carry is really good that nobody's playing, and if Hector refuses to play that, then all of a sudden you don't have a strategy, right? That you could play.
Enemies don't need to ban Morphling against BeastCoast because they know nobody from BeastCoast plays Morphling core. It's this kind of things which makes drafts harder for BeastCoast.
That is actually the biggest example people use as well. It's always the Morphling. My favorite thing as a South American fan is watching English casters go, "Oh, Morphling is good here for Hector," and you just laugh and go, "Yeah, it's never gonna happen." Good try though. All right, so the draft starts. BeastCoast gets rid of the Hoodwink. Interestingly enough, Duster, do you think the stocks to Hoodwink are going up in value right now?
It's one of Michael's best heroes, I believe.
It is for sure.
When I play against this dude, I always want to ban Hoodwink. He's pretty annoying with this hero. Like, he's very, very good. That makes sense.
I want to touch on the annoying thing. How does it matter to ban annoying heroes? And I say annoying in the sense that these heroes like break your draft or they make you frustrated. Is this something you consider genuinely in a competitive game?
Yeah, for sure. Especially a hero like Hoodwink just goes in the trees, break your smokes, kill your backline. And when a player does it so well, like Michael, you gotta respect.
Yeah. I like that you can hear the hatred in Duster's voice as well as he talks about what Hoodwink does. Infinity, they start out with a Tidehunter Weaver, strong lane, and changing their drafting style. Papita's hero picked up first, unless they, change the Tidehunter's position. We'll see what they decide to use that last pick for instead. What is this opener to you, RTO? Is it a little bit last meta, or do you still like it?
The Infinity one?
Yeah.
I think it's fine. Tide's a solid hero, and Tide Weaver usually like either draw or win anyway. This duo is just too strong. Too much poking, too much armor reduction. It's very hard to play against.
BeastCoast's turn to ban.
BeastCoast once again with a dual core. They've been picking a lot of Storm here for Chris Luck. Is the hero just strong, or is this a good draft for Storm as well, Duster?
The 8-pick Storm is actually very, very good, because you can protect it with 3 bands. So you don't really get punished that much. And Storm is a hero that if you don't have a good lane, you always go jungle.
Yes, yes indeed.
BeastCoast's turn to ban.
Do you find the hero strong in the meta currently? Like, do you think the Storm is a good pick generally?
It's a really nice hero, especially in the SA meta, I believe, because he can skirmish very well. He can go to the backline, kill these annoying supports. Like in this game, for example, he can go for this Weaver all the time.
Yep. What are the weaknesses the Storm has mainly as a mid laner compared to say the Ember or the Void?
Less burst than Void Spirit, that's for sure. Void Spirit can kill you without even showing.
Dire team ban.
And the hero needs items to scale. He scales one of the best spirits, but he needs a lot of items also.
I'm glad you said that, because that's what I want to touch against. Remember the Balrogs game where they picked Storm Terrorblade and all of a sudden they just couldn't play the early? Is this something that BeastCoast should have to consider when they draft?
Remaining.
If they go for a greedy core, you can have similar issues.
Remaining.
And if C-Smile doesn't get a good early game, can also backfire a lot on this pick.
I love what he says. If they go for a greedy core on Hector, I've never seen that before.
Smile on the mid lane. Like, try to pick some supports that can help on the rune.
Nice.
And help Storm Spirit snowball.
RTO. They've been picking a lot of Snapfire early. Now they go for the Mars, a more traditional pick. You guys were both commenting that you like these picks more because they give you like a blink stun, you know, like an easy way to initiate. Is this a way to recover if the early game doesn't go BeastCoast's way?
Yes, and it's also Whisper Mars probably. He's like one of the best. Yeah, one of the best Mars I've ever played against. He's so annoying.
10 seconds remaining.
Did you see when he started doing the Meteor Hammer build every single game on the Mars?
Yeah, I never played against it, but I've seen it. It's kind of... I've seen some pubs. He stays alone and he takes the enemy tower by himself. It's very hard to do if you don't have a stunning lane to stop the meteor. And even if you do, you go contest him, you get arenaed in face, you die.
Yes, he actually did this in TI as well, and it just feels like you're playing against like a Beastmaster, but with team fight. It's incredible, honestly. So now that we see this, these two picks that define a lot of the draft from BeastCoast, RTO, what would you take the draft for Infinity? Do you think they need to play fast like Balrogs did here?
I think they have to have solid lanes and heroes to help with runes, because Storm's kind of a rune-dependent mid lane. Like, he needs the runes to become, like, useful.
Yep.
And Infinity already has the Weaver, which is a very good support to go for runes. If they get another support, good on runes, it's gonna be kind of hard for BeastCoast to have an early mid advantage to snowball the game.
Silencer.
I'm gonna go for the Silencer. Duster, you're asking for supports that can help out the mid lane, but Silencer not particularly that hero.
Provides global cover to Storm at least. Every time global's up, Storm can play a bit more aggressive, split push more, go for a risky pick off.
How's the Valley of the Silencer? We saw Gareth playing it with Hokori. He kind of got destroyed by the Tiny, but do you think the hero is suited for the current meta?
Yes, he's a bit of a niche pick. You need to pick against heroes that spam spells, I believe.
Okay.
This is how I see Silencer, because then an Arcane Curse is going to be very, very valuable. Not only global silence every 2 minutes.
Yes, which was what Gareth was playing essentially. What do you think of the
Weaver also? Like, if you Arcane Curse search, you won't be able to spam Sukushi that much.
What do you think of the Silencer versus Weaver matchup in lane? Is that Silencer favorite or Weaver favorite?
I believe Weaver favorite. Weaver is such a great hero for lanes. And Silencer doesn't have that high attack speed or armor to deal with the swarm.
Yep, fair enough. Infinity, picking up a TA. So now I'll ask you guys, particularly you, RDO. You see this last pick. Do you think it's last pick 5, or are we deviating the tide into that 5 position?
Yes, the Tide can be a flex, can be a 5 with TA, but personally, I don't think it's good. Like, this Mars Tide 5s for me seem like a bait, you know? I've only seen Boom make it work, and I kinda don't like it. I prefer them to... it's a support that has a 2-minute cooldown ulti, and he's not useful without his ulti. And he doesn't have a very strong lane. So he doesn't provide much besides being a ravage bottom each 2 minutes.
There's a bit of the your carry talking there. Do you like laning with a Tide 5 or a Mars 5? Yeah.
No. I don't like it.
Yes, I think I was baiting for that answer, I'll be honest with you. So Infinity, once again, the last pick seems to be for Papita, unless they get the last pick of 5. Is it ever worthwhile? Dustin, I'm going to ask you because you're the support player. Is there ever a worthwhile time to last pick of 5? Or do you feel like it's mostly a waste of pick?
It's mostly a waste of pick, let's be honest. Even if I want to, I wish it would be meta, but it's just a waste in my opinion. Like, unless you're a 5 that have like a very niche hero pool, if you can pick something very not normal, you know.
Okay. What are the best 5s for last pick? Something like with a lot of impact. What would you say what you would like in that situation?
To be something with a lot of team fight, for example, AA, if you are playing against a lot of sustain lineups and you already showed Tide, for example, you already showed a support. If you have space for a last pick AA, you can change the game for sure.
Okay. Yeah, that's usually the one that we see.
Yeah, and Dying last pick can also work.
BeastCoast's turn to pick.
Oh, I like this, RDO. Okay, so that's the option. RDO desperately trying to deviate this Tide from the 5 position.
Please be offlane Tide.
Let's talk about the last pick for BeastCoast. They need a carry for Hector. We kind of know his playstyle. What would be the best hero suited for this lane?
10 seconds remaining.
Or for this game, sorry.
I think PL. I think he's gonna pick PL.
5 seconds
TB's
remaining.
banned, CK's banned.
Even against
The-
Ember and Tide?
Yes, K1 is this kind of player.
Okay.
Or he
Let's
can
see- let's
also
see if you're
pick
right.
Juggernaut, but Juggernaut can get like countered. They can play Tide 5 and this kind of stuff.
Also, what do you think of Juggernaut in general as a hero right now? Is he good?
Not really. It gives a strong lane, but there's not much that this hero has in unique.
What do you mean with that? Sorry.
I mean, he doesn't push waves fast. He doesn't deal a lot of damage with low cooldown. He doesn't have anything special besides his healing ward. And his healing ward's countered this game by the Weaver. Weaver can always kill it without killing himself, I suppose.
Okay. Kind of a jack of all trades, master of none situation for Jug, right? As they go for the Luna instead. Seems okay as a pick, right? A bit faster tempo for BeastCoast, maybe?
Yeah, I like the Luna. I like the Luna a lot. And it fits K1 playstyle, which is playing fast, farming fast.
Right, exactly. Yes, that's a good one. Now, Infinity, the matchup with Tide in the offlane is not very good against Luna.
5 seconds.
Let's see if they deviate this. Do they now have a Tombstone hitter in the Luna, though?
Luna's the only hero that hits Tombstone, but it's not like the perfect hero. It can hit, but it's not like a PL, you know? Which is gonna kill the Tombstone in 2 seconds.
We'll see what Papita has to do. If you're picking an offlaner here, Duster, what would you like to see here?
It's honestly kind of hard.
Yeah.
Tide with the Weaver is like a very good lane, and
Yeah.
you should be able to deal with Luna Silencer. You're gonna go for the waste peak on the 5 here. Maybe pick something that can cover against Mars and Storm Spirit, something to help TA not die much, you know.
Like?
Abaddon, it's really nice to break Mars combo. Spear. Oh, Broodmother.
Alright. Tide 5 it is, as they pick
Tide
up the
5 it is.
Broodmother. Do you guys see the Broodmother as strong in this game? Is it a justifiable last pick?
Yes, it's a very cheesy pick.
Okay. Is it a good Broodmother game?
Honestly, I think Mars can kill all the Broodlings with his second spell. But
I
at
think
least
so too.
Luna should have a tough time on the lane. Like when Broodmother gets 6, she should be stomping this lane. Unless they put Mars there. So it's gonna be interesting to see how BeastCoast is gonna rotate the heroes on the map.
Okay. Final moments. I'm asking here for predictions. RDO, what draft do you like best?
I like more the BeastCoast drafts because they don't have a Tide 5.
There we go.
I'll go with BeastCoast. Hopefully
Simple,
not jinx this one.
simple and effective reasoning. RDO just wants people to not play Tide 5. I think that's a commendable idea. Duster?
I'll go with the BeastCoast also. I think it's a better structure draft. Like they have everything they need. Infinity draft feels more like a draft from a team that doesn't believe much they can actually beat BeastCoast, so they go for a cheesy draft. I don't
All
like
right.
this.
That's fair enough, yeah. You kind of need some confidence for the panel to be confident in you. But the panel today has been cursing teams left and right. Will BeastCoast be able to lift this curse? Are they stronger than our panel? Or will they fall to Infinity's Broodmother and their cheese? We're going to have to see as we go into Game 1 of BeastCoast vs. Infinity with Gareth and Lacoste.
Yeah, here we are into a pause as well. I mean, Lacoste, cheesy, Broodmother last pick. They've got minus arm with TA, Weaver, the Tide 5. Panel doesn't seem to like it.
A bit greedy. There's a bunch of minus armor coming out from this draft. The Broodmother, it's not like the greatest Broodmother game against Silencer. It's fine. Builds into Orchid, most likely. So that's going to be great against the Storm Spirit, great against like the solo pick-off potential is going to be there. I'm just a little afraid that, in the laning stage, they might not do so hot. But in terms of the minus armor, you have Ember Spirit with his Slight that benefits from all the minus armor, builds into Orbital Corrosion, Swarm.
Oh, yeah.
All of these things tend to add up. So I want to see. I've been really impressed by Infinity, the way they play against the Infamous. I think that they should have won that series. It's just a bit of a decision-making, maybe nerves in the end. But they fell short in that one. On the other side, BeastCoast, classic BeastCoast, I would say, lineup where, they also dropped the game against Balrogs. Very, very competitive series, I would say. A lot of good new talents coming out in the South America, but I'm really glad that I'm casting Infinity game because I want to see how much of that during their series against Infamous was, maybe a good day of Dota. And I also want to see them, how they're going to be matched up against the BeastCoast.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw a number of these players, back in the early seasons. Remember the good old days of PP versus Mini in the mid lanes, two of our favorite players from back then.
Yeah,
Infinity
Mini PP,
was
that was
Mini PP, that was great. Now what have you got now?
Now we have PP Rises. I've been really impressed by them in the series against the Infamous. I think these two players really, showing the strengths of the scene.
And of course, Prada, that position 5 Tide Hunter, the panel weren't too happy about, but maybe you can get the job done. Already getting their early vision down, making sure they weren't scouted as well as Gojira. He's got his nice little clockwork set. Going to be waddling through that river. Doesn't get too much information. And they're looking for the high five onto PP's Ember Spirit. It looks like, though, Prada should be able to get both bounty runes top. And BeastCoast looking to secure the ones down bottom. No one really contesting or playing too aggressively. Very casually, calmly gather up that free gold on the map.
I'm looking at
this Broodmother. You said you're going to be scared. This is one of the scariest sets I've ever seen.
Oh, for sure. This is the scariest set in Dota 2. I think a lot of the people out there who have arachnophobia can't really play against this because it triggers them. For me, I don't care. I would squash it and then need to wash my wall with something. But
With fire.
pretty
With a
much
flamethrower.
burn the house down. Also, Beaver, like this is the bug lane.
Oh yeah, you're right. It's nasty. That's some nasty stuff. I mean, there used to be ways to reskin your game, right? You used to be able to change Broodmother into like a fluffy cat or something if you had arachnophobia, but I don't think you can do that anymore, unfortunately. So that bot lane, the double bugs against Luna and Silencer, two heroes that could struggle if they're being run at and dived. The other side lane is going to be Tide TA against a Clockwork and a Mars. And again, just reiterating what the panel said, it is a Whisper Mars. One of his best heroes for sure.
Yeah, I'm looking at the items that are queued up, especially on Gojira. Straight up Meteor Hammer. I don't think he can go for that, but we'll see.
On the Clockwork, yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Rise is already taking a beating and forcing an earlier salve. It does come from Prada, though, who has stacked up 4 mangoes on the Tide, so expecting a lot of spam, especially of the gush from him. And yeah, you pair it up with a meld, force Gojira to throw the cogs down. But you can see that immediate physical burst damage you get from this kind of lane.
I like that Gojira started with the power cogs instead of battery assault, just to be able to burn some mana, especially on the Tide Hunter, who, as a 5, consumes a lot of mana.
Oh, he sure does. And bottom lane looks like Stinger is going to be that first blood. He pops his stick, doesn't have anything else left. So Michael and Mariano able to get right on top of him.
Silencer down there with the Bounty Hunter in terms of how good the hero is. It's always been BeastCoast Classic. They love to play it as 5. They run it on the off lane. I just feel the hero doesn't bring any like real value, especially in this game. Like Silencer's really not good against anything. Might allow Storm Spirit to play a bit more aggressive on the side lanes, allows him to have like a follow-up silence when he decides to go in. So that's gonna be good. But in terms of the laning stage, I think this hero is just straight up bad.
Yeah, it's really difficult. Your positioning's hard. You're a pretty slow hero. You don't offer any actual stuns. You can't cancel TPs. But it felt like the way the draft was going that the panel was saying that it looked like Infinity were drafting to try and kind of play around BeastCoast and find a way to weasel themselves into a good draft. And I guess 2 ways of doing that are cheesing with a Broodmother or going for like some big teamfight wombo combos. So I guess BeastCoast were looking at that thinking they've got Tide, they could go for more. Silencer beats that. There's K1 getting chipped away at by Mariano and Michael. Gets rid of the swarm bug now though, so they turn onto Stinger instead. There's just so much harassment coming from these 2 bugs.
It's supposed to be like the strong lane. If you pair up any ranged hero with Luna, 2 points in Lunar Blessing, it's a lot of harassment, but Broodmother does have that hunger, which allows her to be full HP, and Stinger's gonna die again on bottom.
Yeah. Oh, maybe a turn onto Michael. He's got Fairy Fire though. K1, he's not got enough damage to finish off the Weaver. Yes, back onto the tier 1 tower, but every time the Silencer steps out of tower range, he's gonna die. Top lane, 2 in the cogs. Whisper has some stick charges, but he's already spent his Rebuke and his Spear, so Prada there clears up the Clockwork with a nice little anchor smash.
Not a bad start, 3-0 for Infinity. I like the way they're playing the lanes. This team, I said that I want to see them in action. 4 minutes in, I think we're going to have a very interesting series. They've been very cheesy with their picks, and I think it's going to work out considering how the lanes are going. By work out, I don't mean necessarily straight up win the game, but I feel like, they're off to a really good start.
Yeah, it's a great beginning. Get these cores off the ground. Now, the TA needs obviously a bit more time to get herself farmed up. Ember Spirit, we're going to be looking towards PP to see how quickly he comes out of that mid lane and makes rotation into these side lanes. Currently, sat dead even with the Storm Spirit, so complete free farm exchange in the mid lane. And they're both about to crack level 6. Ember just ahead of the Storm though. So we'll see what he does. Maybe Remnant to refill bottle, maybe actually TP to a lane. He's got lots of options for himself. But right now, oh, they actually see the Storm pre-6. He's going to get it off this Wild Wing, but they're going to go, oh, is it in time? Epulze lightnings away.
That
They didn't have Searing
clutch.
Chains. That was incredibly close. They're still chasing him. Another remnant. How many has he got? He's got an slight from long range.
That's gonna be a full orb of corrosion for PP. So yeah, a lot of damage. This is pinged out. He knows exactly where the ward is. Gonna get devorded. Like I think he pinged it like on the top of the board, pretty much.
They knew exactly what was going on. 4-0 now. An Ember Spirit, free reign in that mid lane. Wants the 6-minute rune. Guarded top by Prada. Gojira can't
this is
come near, and
big.
it's a haste. Oh, it's a juicy rune. Whisper. With the storm, though, kill off rises before they get the chance to get in that top lane. But maybe a clap back here from PP. Wants Whisper, he wants Sea Smile, but can't go for both. Has to choose one. Whisper, the target of choice, but a good spear back. Stops the Ember Spirit in his tracks.
I thought that they're gonna play this a bit more defensively. Fall back with Templar Assassin, wait for BeastCoast to push out the lane, and then rotate with the Ember Spirit. Like, he can also TP rotate easily. This haste rotation, not as good as you would expect it. How's our boy Silencer doing? He's on a mission. He wants to devord this, but does not have a sentry. Oh, there is one in the range, already placed, never mind.
Just in range, yeah. Well, he's not died in the past 3 minutes, so I would
That's
say he's
very
doing
impressive.
spectacularly
Yeah.
well. Yeah, incredibly stacking. And he's building up some nice camps here for K1's Luna, who has treads done, hit level 6. Or is that 1-2-3 build? So the Lucent Beam for that laning pressure, not bothering with Eclipse, just maxing out that farm.
Look at this
build
contribution
on the
from
Luna.
Silencer, Gary. Farming as a stack, like the laning duo decided to go in the jungle and farm a stack. Impressive. Silencer, what a
Very
contribution.
impressive. Well, while that's happening, the kill rises top with an arena spear. And again, Sea Smile doing an exceptional job. After dying, he's been involved in 2 incredibly important kills top on the TA, and he's going now onto Prada. Good damage onto the Tidehunter. Raindrops are there to give him a bit of safety, but not against the God's Rebuke.
Yeah, Sea-Smile has been very active, involved in 3 kills. They managed to bring him down once, but yeah, he's been very active, which I like on the Storm Spirit. I want PP to be able to match rotations from the Sea-Smile. This is going to be a kill on Gojira.
Yeah, keep those sleights of fist coming. Trying to kill the Weaver off, and Ember Spirit didn't... Oh, he only had 1 Spirit. He only had 1 Remnant. So he threw it, realized that he doesn't want to jump in and get caught out. So they actually just let that one slide. 1-for-1 trade in the end. PP playing very safely. Now going back towards Sea Smile, who's low on mana mid. Does PP want to go diving for it? Because he's got Broodmother off to the right-hand side, who is ready to strike. I don't make the move. And you're right, that's going to be an Orchid Broodmother soon. Arcane Soul Ring, plenty of mana regen to keep her on the map and playing. It's going to be a massive threat when that Orchid comes.
Yeah, after, like, they shouldn't be allowed to enter the zone bottom, pretty much, because it should belong to the Broodmother. They have heroes that can easily rotate. These are very fast. Same goes for Ember Spirit, so I want to see them put some more pressure inside that area.
Well, the minus armor building up. They've got an arena, but a spear missing onto Mariano means Whisper doesn't get the opportunity he had hoped for. Now Sea Smile has to pop his stick and probably will have to ball lightning away. Still, oh, there was no Searing Chains to come out onto the storm. Sea Smile very happy about that. Infinity definitely the one playing very forward.
Yeah, I feel Broodmother should like not collapse on a mid tower unless they already killed one. Just be able to farm the jungle. She also needs to be full HP. I want to see what Sea-Smile's gonna... Oh, he's farming underneath the ward, but they have nothing to stop him with. Like, they have very hard time of controlling unless they bring Ember Spirit, which only has 1 point in Searing Chains, but I'm not sure if that's enough. They need to farm this Orchid of Brood.
Yeah, it looks like the main goal right now, just stop Sea Smile from farming at all. Get out of the lane. Harass him until he leaves. You should be able to just ball TP. 200 HP. Doesn't even take any more damage. And now back to defending that mid-tier 1 because Catapult Wave is arriving. Tide is halfway through level 5, so no Ravage, but this level 9 Ember Spirit forcing Clockwork to cogs and run away.
Silencer will cancel the region on Ember Spirit, which is pretty big. So far, 0-2 and 0 Silencer. As that level 6, that's what matters.
That's all he needs. Is Stinger going to eat the tome, or is he going to give it to someone?
I hope not. There's no reason to like max. There's literally no difference if you're level 8 or level 6 in Silencer. It really doesn't matter.
Radiant's middle tower
That's why I was wondering if maybe he gives it to someone.
Dire's top
Well,
tower
Spiderlings kill off the tower. Silencer reads the tome, gets to level 7. Don't know why I keep saying eat the tome. You don't eat books. Devour their information. Long movement from Infinity coming through the Radiant Triangle, wanting Whisper, but there's Arena, there's the possibility for reaction TPs, and Whisper's already by his tower.
Stinger.
Hello. Oh dear. That's kind of his job at this point, isn't it? He's not died in like 9 minutes. He should be dying now though. Minus armor with the chains on him. Plenty of damage.
That's why he consumed the knowledge. So they can get more experience and more gold from killing him.
Yes, give more to the enemies. That's what we need. Gojira. Freaking Godzilla being chased by little spiders. It's not what you expect.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Mariano's definitely stamped his mark on this game.
Yeah, he's keeping up with Hector's farm, which is very impressive. Arcane boots to be able to spam things out on top of the Soul Ring, a bit of a tankiness, and also infinite mana on the hero. So once he gets that Orchid, Storm Spirit is gonna be very easy to kill. I like the itemization on PP. PP going for BKB after finishing Orb of Corrosion. Wants to be able, because all they have is magical damage, so once the BKB is online, he can easily go in. Like, there's no need to go greedy in this game. Try to like farm the Maelstrom into BKB. It could easily backfire. We still haven't seen Hookshot nor Silencer's ulti being used. Like, they can easily smoke up and try to like force a fight, which they just did. Because even if they initiate on Hector, there's always the turnaround potential from the global silence. Visper deeping bottom with the Blink Dagger.
Yeah, and C-Smile's on the TA. There's the Vortex and the Spear Chain Stun. It's not perfect, but it looks good enough by any means. And the mid lane, they are trying to chase down Gojira's Clockwork. They should be able to find him in the end. Oh, is he going to be able to juke himself away with the cogs? Stick TP also available. He looks fine. I don't even get him.
Still
Do you think
behind
Luna in
enemy
this game
lines.
is a...
Look at him. Weaver will TP.
Go on then, TP and an Urn Charge, and then Gojira just TPs home anyway.
They have nothing. They literally do not have ability to stop the TP with unless they rotate Ember Spirit.
Or Ravage with Tide.
Yeah, that's not gonna
K1?
happen.
He's baited Mariano into this one. Broodmother in this arena, still going for K1 and trying to finish off with this Luna, but no. BeastCoast, they have that TP reaction and even a global there to stop PP from going deep for that Luna kill. So I was going to ask you, do you think Luna is that ticking time bomb? Is K1 going to be able to out-carry this if it goes mid to late game?
Yeah, I feel like Mariano needs to be bottom. There's really no reason for him to like play the top lane. I can understand why you're like off laner trying to defend the tower, but this is where Tidehunter can be your position 5, soak up some experience, die. But he should be working on his Orchid, and like this bottom part should belong to him. They do have like decent ways to control him with Storm. Mid lane, Hector.
Oh, yeah, changed up, but the hookshot save, the Ravage comes. Prada knew that he had that one button. The cogs, though, trapping 3 inside means the Spear and the God's Rebuke doing some good damage. Whisper and C-Smile pairing up to kill off PP. A double kill for Storm. An all-right trade. Giving away K1 there, but getting some pretty big kills, and the fact that Ravage is now on cooldown.
I feel they need one extra hero. Templar Assassin decided to go with the Blink Dagger
Radiant's bottom tower
after
is under
Dragonlance, I guess, to be able to like possibly blink out of the trouble. But with the Blink Dagger, I think she can easily join these fights. We would definitely love to see that. I mean, it's still 1k gold lead for BeastCoast. I feel they missed a little bit of timing on side of Infinity with this Broodmother, because this is the hero that tends to fall off. When I say fall off, I've seen Broodmothers, like if you're winning a game, if you're snowballing, and then you get the Aghanim Scepter after Orchid, it's one of the best items. But if you're like in an even game, or if you're on a losing side, it just doesn't feel good. It feels very underwhelming.
It feels like if you're dominating, you've got maybe more room for mistakes, but in an even or losing game, you make one mistake and the hero is a non-factor for like the rest of the match, it feels like. Mariano's still sticking top though. And Whisper, yeah, free money from all those spiderlings. Just one God's Rebuke. As mid lane, initiation from Michael and PP. Prada getting it on top with a little piglet, Gojira. Still dying. BeastCoast map is getting smaller and smaller, that has to be said. K1 struggling to find farm in the past minute and a half, 2 minutes or so. Just stuck mid. But he is still top of the net worth. Oh, Lacoste. There's a way they can stop TPs. Weaver's bought a Yule Scepter.
Yeah, that's great. That's a great pickup. It's also a great way of dispelling the silence from the silencer, and you don't like to play into Arcane Curse. But yeah, I love that. It's been very popular lately. Before, I think Weavers were just aiming for like Spirit Vessel every single game, and then when you don't have enough for like lockdown, it's if you have like some kind of a setup as well with the Yule Scepter, that's gonna be good. But I like it here because this is gonna, you know, make some of the stuff much easier to play on the side lanes. T-Smile, very interesting guy to build on him. Decided to go
Straight
for
BKB.
Rogue and straight up BKB.
Yeah,
I don't mind that because he knows that Broodmother already showed her hand, going for Orchid. So good move.
Yeah, especially if you pair it up with the Ravage, the potential disable from Searing Chains.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
This migration from north to south, a flock of birds, the BeastCoast side start diving like sparrows into this bottom jungle area with C-Smile starting it off on the Tidehunter. They've stunned him up, he's popped his BKB, and Storm goes wild to make sure there is no teamfight capability from Prada and allows them to get PP. Thanks to that global silence, now Rises is isolated. They've all been picked apart. Thread after thread comes out of this. Poor jumper, there used to be Infinity.
DP too deep without a BKB. His BKB was coming to him. All they needed to wait was like 10 seconds, and then he would be able to like make a counter move. But yeah, you can see him picking up the BKB right now inside the base. They're losing this game. Like Templar Assassin, she's not the same hero as she was before, where you're like you miss the timing and then you're completely done. But considering that you have like this offlane Broodmother, these things will add up for sure.
Yeah, it's everything, right? It's the 5 Tide, the 4 Weaver, offlane Brood. Everything needs to be running like clockwork. And right now, a few cogs missing. Because Luna, 11,200 net worth, clears out another Ancient stack. Getting these tier 2 neutral items coming in. Storm has now overtaken everyone else on the Dire team. So on top of that BKB, he's finished off his Kaya. It's looking good for BeastCoast. Whisper makes it look easy. Squashes the bug. Nothing there that Prada can do. It could be so easy now for the Dire team to kind of just try and bunker down, farm Ancients with a TA. Do you think they can win this game by farming, or do you want to have them go forward, smoke and ravage and play into BeastCoast?
I want to see them take a fight. The problem is Templar Assassin's career died. I believe it had Mithril Hammer on it, so this Deso is also delayed by 2 minutes. They definitely don't want that.
That's upsetting.
Yeah, a lot of these small things are coming into the play for Infinity, and they're not good. They're the bad things that you do the math at the end of the game, and you're like, okay, this didn't do too well, and we had a couple of courier kills as well on top of it, and
There's a lot of ones to carry.
feed kills. Yeah, not waiting for a BKB, and this is where these like 3k gold lead difference comes from. We haven't seen
Yep.
Broodmother use her Orchid. I think maybe in the previous fight, but that was it. It was fight that they lost.
I don't know who she's going to be able to... Oh, Storm's going in for another. So they easily kill the Tide Hunt. Now, PP has to BKB himself. The Global Silence comes, so they do have that silence on the Ember. Just need to keep on ball lightning into him, but he's rented away. The hookshot misses. Gojira doesn't get the catch on him. PP somehow scrambling to safety there. But the fact now that BeastCoast have triple BKB, right? Mars... Yeah, I mean, he basically has it. He's 150 gold away from it. Well, who does Broodmother Orchid? Who do they ravage? How do they win team fights?
There's a lot of physical damage inside of Infinity, but they definitely need to be able to control them, and they have nothing. If they don't like to take a fight, BeastCoast can easily fall back. So with the next Global Silence, they should try to go for a pick-off and transition then to the Roche. Okay, Infinity, they take this info that there's no... Oh, big zip.
Yeah, Storm just goes in and blows up Michael. Now the Ravage onto a BKB'd Storm. It clips the clockwork off to the left, but C-Smile perfectly happy with how this is all panned out because he's got K1, he's got Whisper by his side.
Oh, this Ravage wasn't even close.
No, it wasn't. And now they've got a spear on someone. What's that? A hook shot after spear. Chain stuns galore. PP still able to remnant off, but he's being pushed by the cogs.
Beautiful execution from BeastCoast. The spell casting, they're really on point. And Whisper, he's in.
Oh, another one. Oh, it's just so good. Chaining these kills one after the other. BeastCoast exploiting that small opening they're given by Infinity. And now Roshan for them.
They will have Global Silence for the next fight as well. This is just falling apart. I know it says 6k gold lead, but it feels like much more. Some of the missed timings, rises 0, 5, and 1. He's having a rough one.
Oh, he is. Absolutely.
Oh, what
what's
a spear.
Who's he got? The Weaver? How's he managed that? Okay, Michael. Back to safety.
Gojira did not have mana for his abilities. Is that Whisper or Vispir when he's playing Mars? That's the question. He's really on point. He's 2, 0, and 12. He's all over the place. I like that people are staying away from the armlet build. It's just too slow.
Yeah. Link BKB refresher. Whisper's like a fountain of opportunities for you, isn't it? I remember vividly when he was playing Magnus, I think at TI, maybe just before TI, he missed a couple of RPs, he called him Whisper. Now he's Whispier, clearing through PP's Ember Spirit down bottom. Yeah. I said, oh, he's whiffed the RP, and you said, oh yeah, he's Whisper. No whiffs this time though, he's been absolutely on point, spot on stuff.
I like the C-Smiles itemization a lot.
Again? Oh, through the trees? Oh, he's threaded the needle there. Don't know how that's happened.
That BKB rush after power threads, because he was thinking real hard what he needs to buy. I guess he was waiting to see what the item on the Broodmother is going to be, and then he decided to pick it up, which I really like.
It's like, do I want to buy Yules when I have 4,000 gold saved up? Nah, just buy BKB, right? Easy tier 2 for them. And away we go. Aegis on Storm still for 3.5 minutes. And it felt not long ago that the BeastCoast had a very small map to play in, and now it is wide open. They're pushing high ground. And Infinity are the ones looking for these little spots to farm in.
It seems like the plan wasn't to go for the high ground. They don't want to kill the tier 3 towers. I would say because Luna didn't pick up the Aegis, instead they gave it to Storm Spirit, so they want to play for the second Roshan instead. Just get some more advantage and allow Storm Spirit to go in and possibly die. But the second Roche, second Aegis belongs to Luna if they kill it.
Well, Storm Spirit He has been hit with a Broodmother Orchid, but Mariano is surrounded by Beast Coast heroes. Orchid means nothing. Doesn't do a damn thing. And I think you said it best when you mentioned the Broodmother should never have come top. And now top
Yes.
is Brood's home. And it feels like the game pivots on that decision. You give so much space to
it's a
Beast
rough
Coast.
one. I actually have no clue why he decided to go to the top lane. I've seen like Broodmother's trying to invade the enemy triangle, but you also need to kill the tier 1 tower on the mid lane, and it happens like very rare. You already have the webs set up, you just need people to like play with you. I think one of the problems of their draft is they don't have a stun. Like they don't have a reliable stun that they can play with,
Right.
which showed, the Storm Spirit going in, playing very aggressive on the bottom lane. If he doesn't feel like he needs to be there anymore, just sips and TPs out. We've seen this from Hector in the previous when he was sieging the tier 2 tower now, using a BKB and TPing out. They have no abilities that go through magic immunity, so he's always going to feel safe.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Options are limited, sounds like, for poor old Infinity here. They are still trying to just mirror that map,
Radiant's bottom
push
tower
the
is
opposite
under
side, let Beast Coast do what they want while they're holding this Aegis, and now maybe come back and attempt a defense of their tier 3 towers, as we see that wonderful spinner's snare. The barricade blocking at high ground. Yule's up onto Storm. Searing chains, and again, that damage down to half HP. 50 seconds left on Aegis. Seasmile not too bothered right now about it. Would probably rather die now than in 45 seconds time and get caught off guard. They do retreat.
I think I figured out what happened in this game. Because they were staying away from the Broodmother. Maybe they had arachnophobia on side of Infinity and they didn't want to see Broodmother on their screens. That's the only logical explanation I can find.
Stay away from their own brood, yeah.
is under attack.
Spinner's now pretty strong. Basically, solo killed the Clockwork up top. Now an opportunity with Blink Ravage at the ready. Prada drawing some lines on the map with Michael. Don't know if they're going to find anyone though. Seasmile's Aegis has been reclaimed. He ball lightning across into the camp, but yeah, he spotted them before they could get the jump on him. Silencer continuing the trend of farming with Luna. He's helping.
Yeah,
assisting.
the presence, drums as well, buff up the Luna and the illusions. Man, Silencer's such a great hero, huh?
He's the butler of Luna. He's picking up the neutral items that Luna's dropping, so she doesn't have to worry about managing inventory or sending them back to base. He's there with the drums and the buckler. He's the buckler butler. Scythe of Ice on the way for Seasmile, so they will have that added layer of initiation. Disable to catch the Ember Spirit or the TA. Hell, even the Weaver.
And not really
Deep
committed
vision.
to go for the high ground. Next Roche may respawn in 2 minutes. I mean, if they can get like 2 pickups, they're definitely gonna go for it. Right now, just camping on the high ground. But yeah, the safe play for BeastCoast would be go get that second Roche smoke from Infinity.
Gojira jetpacks over. I think they've got a good idea that something's coming, something's brewing, and it's Storm Spirit along with K1
Dire's top tower
to catch out Michael, who is dead without buyback. Yeah, he needs 45 more gold to have buyback now. So a 4v5.
Dire's top tower
Tier 3 tower very close to death. PP remnants in. Silenced up, maybe forced to BKB. Rough one for him as they hook shot and Arena back towards the Broodmother. TA also in trouble. The glaives are bouncing and shredding through them. That might just be it, honestly. They didn't even use Ravage.
Dire's top barracks are
No
under
Ravage used, no Eclipse used, and now once the tier 3 tower falls, the bouncy starts. Let's see if they decide to go for tier 4s. Maybe there's only Ember alive, and they can't. Yeah, GG's called. Mariano's gonna call it.
Yeah, no chance in that one. 22-10. I mean, the first, 7-8 minutes looked like it was promising. Good news for the lanes for Infinity. And it all fell apart. BeastCoast, more disciplined, holding on, knowing what they needed to do.
Just a
Yeah.
better execution. I think like Infinity could have played their draft a little bit better, especially with the Broodmother. But still, they tried something. I want to, go back to the drawing board and see something different, something that they like played against Infamous, not try to cheese their way in. This is also the last big Broodmother, and I was not impressed. It didn't work out for them. I want them to play, even though Broodmother is not that of a cheesy pick anymore, I want them to play like standard heroes, stay away from Tide 5 and stuff like that. Just, play normal Dota. Maybe it got into their head, we were playing against the big dogs, we're playing against the BeastCoast, and maybe they, chickened out a little bit, but they can play better. They can play so much better than this, especially from the games that I've seen, and I feel they can do better in game number 2.
Yeah, I mean, there was the compounding factor also that they put the Broodmother into the Mars's lane, something that the panel had talked about, that Whisper could just clear every single army of spiders. It was making my game lag, honestly. He's just like, oh, there's a group of spiders, I'm going to use God's Rebuke, and they're all dead. Easy, 200 gold or something. Well, BeastCoast, take game 1. We'll see how this all pans out as it heads back to Alvo and the panel.
Thank you, Gareth. Wanted to say shout out to Shiva who came by the chat. What a perfect game for her to come by. As RDO, you mentioned you don't like the Tide 5. I think it kind of showed in that game. Not the best performance there. He really, really struggled. But do you guys agree with Lacoste's idea that like this strategy just didn't pan out, or do you think the execution had a lot to do with it, Duster?
Yeah, like the strategy was too risky. They didn't have a single stun to play with. As he said, they tried to cheese with this last big Broodmother. Just didn't work well. Like, should go and stick to your roots, I believe. Playing like similar to what they played against Infamous, indeed. Like, just grab heroes that are comfortable and don't try to win with a last pick.
RDO, the casters mentioned this a couple of times. We could see it in the game. They're playing really far away from the Broodmother. Did you feel like they didn't play the timings as you'd expect for a Broodmother draft, or do you feel like they were just kind of desperate considering how the game went?
I think they played too slow, and there's the Tide 5 incident. There's nothing the hero can do besides pressing Ravage. So it wasn't really
And
their
even that
fault.
failed.
Yeah. They had bigger
Okay.
issues, I would say.
So do you think that this is the kind of game... actually, if you're the captain or the coach of the team, right? What do you say after this game? Do you just forget it and just go into clean game 2?
To our coach, I would say, guys, this game never existed. Let's just reset our mind and go for game 2. We can do this.
And the case of BeastCoast, Duster, do you think they're feeling pretty confident starting this series with a really clean win?
Yeah, it's the classic BeastCoast draft. They played really, really fast. Whisper, amazing Mars as usual. I'm surprised with C-Smile performance. Chris, like sometimes he can have some questionable performances against weaker teams. I don't know why, but in this game he played so well. Like, he try-harded. You could feel.
Yeah, you could tell. I actually like that point. Something that if you guys ever watch some of the BeastCoast comms, because they produce some of their mics, it's called the Hot Mic on the YouTube channel. And something you see sometimes is C-Smile will be doing this play where he's like walking in a place where you know he shouldn't be walking. And then someone on the team goes, why are you there, Chris? And he goes, oh, my bad. And then he just goes back to where he should be. Like, and this happens like way too often. Like, he's just like lost in thought, walking in the jungle, pretty trees, and then all of a sudden his team has to remind him. So there might be some truth to that there, Duster. But as you said, great performance of the Storm. He's been performing really well with Storm in general in these games. We'll see if he can do that for game 2 as we take a small break and come back with game 2 between BeastCoast and Infinity. See you guys then.